today I wanted to go through some resources that we all use. Some of them that we think are 5-star. Some of them that we might want to have a conversation about. Maybe refine where we spend our time and money so that we can be a little bit more efficient and effective. So I created this list. I'm going to share my screen, and I shared it with everybody. And there's one that I forgot here. What's that called? So does anybody have like a tool that or a product that you use that is incredible in your business that you want to share with the group, or maybe something that is a little bit disappointing that you invest your time or money in?
If no one's speaking, I would like to interject.
Go ahead.
All right, so you are kind and generous enough to provide us with Cole Realty. I love Cole Realty, but agents need to understand that the phone numbers are not the best. They're not good at all. However, Cole Realty will give you the actual property owners. So you have the names, the addresses, but more importantly, the date of sale. When the last time the home was sold, so you can figure out how many years they've been living there. And another bonus is the age of the person owning the home. So I have agents saying, well, the phone numbers are no good. It doesn't pay. Well, yes, it does pay. Go door knock, send them letters, and you get emails as well. So they shouldn't be all hung up because the phone numbers aren't the best. But I think Cole Realty Resource is an optimum, prospecting tool. It does have a flaw, but what else in this world is perfect?
Very well. So, and I think, Cole Realty combined with other tools also, like you teach, Maria, is probably really helpful. Because you upload it into a dialer, or you upload it into the Remax first app, right?
Yep. Well, that's what I was saying. If you have farm areas, upload them into your first app. But this is a great tool also to do micro farm certain areas according to how long the home was owned for. For instance, baby boomers are your biggest sellers here in New Jersey, either downsizing and moving out of the state. And that, with that wonderful interactive map that you let us on to, shows that where New Jerseyers are going. So if they've been living in their home for over 25 years, they're definitely a baby boomer. That should be micromanaged differently. Also, those first-time home buyers that purchased a home 5 to 8 years ago, well, according to NAR, they're ready to move. So why not micromanage those as well? So it can be very pinpointed, targeted marketing, and that's all from Cole Realty.
Cool. So I guess if we can make it a little bit more conversational, if anybody has any thoughts, positive or negative on that, that would be great. Anybody actively using Mojo now? No? Okay.
We've been using RedX down here a lot.
Okay. And, Ron, what's the expectation with RedX? Like if you were to, talk to a colleague in a coffee shop and say, hey, I use it for X amount of time and here's my expected return on it.
I've never used Vulcan or Mojo or any other than KV Core, but RedX seems to be more productive for me and for the agents that I'm working with. We do get expiras, we get the FISBOs, cold calls. Some of the numbers are, outdated, but it's a hit and miss. If you stick with it, it does pay dividends.
Okay, so Ron, your son is now in the business, right? Is he having any success with it? And
Oh yeah, yeah.
and what type of success does your son see with it?
Well, we're doing. He mixes it up. He does a lot of the cold calling in some of the farm areas that I work, and some of the areas that we circle prospect when we sell a property. But now he's hitting some of the for sale by owners. So we practice scripts on that, and he's got it down pretty good. We went on an appointment yesterday on a for sale by owner, and we got one about 3 weeks ago. So it's been very successful. You just got to do it. You got to stick with it, like anything else.
And how much time would the Professor Ron recommend doing consistently so you don't burn out, get frustrated, but you also are able to see results?
You have to do it 2 hours a day, 5 days a week.
So there was no hesitation there, huh?
It is, babe.
I love that. Okay, and then Ron, with that, how many prospects could you identify in a week? How many appointments in a month? And maybe how many listings in a year?
Okay, well, that's a good question. It's good for cold calling right now is good for at least, I would say, probably 15 listings a year. You still have to do the mailers. By the way, my next class, I really have some really good postcard mailers program that we're going to be talking about. So those who want to attend should attend this because this is really awesome. But you got to do mailers, you got to do door knocking, you got to do the cold calling. You have to do the whole gamut, because doing just a little bit of just doing the cold calls is just not enough. You got to call some of the expireds, and you got to call some of the FISBOs. So you have to mix it in.
Ron, how do you? Ron, let me ask you, how do you have the right mindset to continually do that? Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges. And for me, I want to just share with you what my thoughts are, and then I want to get your experience from working with a lot of agents and coaching them. But I find that a lot of people wish it was easier, and I think it's better mindset if you look forward to the challenges and you figure out how do you overcome those challenges, because that also makes you feel better when the session is done.
Well, yeah. The best thing to do is what I tell the agents to do is do a time block in your schedule for early morning, starting at 8 o'clock and go to 11 or go to 10. 2 hours a day. There's some days when we time block the morning. Ryan will start somewhere around 8:30 or 9 o'clock and go maybe to 10:30, 11. Sometimes we get tied up in our business and we have to, jump off our schedule, which is, like a walkthrough or putting out fires. And unfortunately, it does interfere with our schedule. But we find it better in the morning when you're fresh to start making your phone calls and get them out of the way. So when you do your phone calls from 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning for 2 hours, you get them out of the way and you accomplish whatever you need to accomplish to be successful in getting the prospecting done, whether it's FISBOs, expires, or cold calls. When he starts doing it, if he does like an hour in the morning and he has to finish an hour in the afternoon, I hear him on the phone become stale and not as perky as he is early in the morning. And I always tell him never to sit down, always to kind of walk around. When he walks around and does his cold calling or calling FISBOs, he's more energetic. His tone, his tonality is better. His personality comes out better. When you sit down, you tend to get a little bit boring, and it's like, hi, this is Ryan. When he's up walking around, it's, hi, this is Ryan. He's got a better attitude, and that works better. Did I answer your question? Not sure.
Yes. And from a practical standpoint, how consistent do you think the most successful people are at, doing it 2 hours a day?
Very successful. If you're doing it 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, and what I tell the agents in my classes, that it doesn't have to be every single day. As long as you do 5 days a week, you could do Monday, Tuesday, skip Wednesday, do Thursday. Saturday's always a good time to prospect because most people are home. Door knocking the same way. So whatever works, as long as you get 5 days in, and you will definitely be productive, and you'll have, we're not killing it, but we are doing very well. We're getting listings, we're getting closings, we're on schedule. Our goals are on the wall right now. I'm looking at it, and it says goal is 30 closings for 2023, 2 closings per month, 2 listings per month. Okay, we're pretty much on track. If we lag behind that, we have to pick it up a little bit. So, but we look at our goals every single day, and if we're not on schedule, we have to pick it up a little bit.
Rob, I think a great component of this too, and Ron, I think you'll certainly agree, is to track your performance. How many calls you make every day, how many people you actually interact with, and then leading into Rob's earlier point about, how many calls did it take to get an appointment? How many appointments did it take to get a listing? And how many calls did it take to get a transaction? Because that way you can track and see how you're doing and know whether you have to, as Ron said, step it up.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's got to have a goal. I mean, some of the agents that are seasoned agents seem to think that they don't need a goal because they know what they need to do. But if you don't look at your goals every day, you tend to flounder, and you don't get the prospecting that you need done in a timely manner. So it's brutal. Cold calling and talking to FISBOs and expireds, not easy. But nothing is easy. Nothing comes easy in this business. You got to work hard at it.
I would agree. And the mindset of like having the expectation of it not being easy won't leave you disappointed, right?
Nope. It won't. It's like anything, nothing comes easy. Every deal that you put together doesn't come easy. Every deal you put together is a task. You got to work hard to keep it all together. So, you really got to work hard at it. It's not like it used to be years ago where you put a deal together and it closes. And nowadays it's tough with inspections and appraisals and, keeping everybody happy and on the same page, and working with some agents from other companies that are just not competent enough. We seem to have to take over their job, to get the deal closed, and constantly staying on top of it. So, this real estate is not an easy job. It's a hard job, and you got to work hard at it. But the rewards are good, better than a 9-to-5 job.
I agree. All right. So, other tools and resources we got here. Anybody like Vulcan 7? Use that one regularly? Because that one's another one Ron, how many seats do we have for Red X available?
How many? Well, I'm sorry.
How many people can use Red X at the same time?
And everybody can use it. There's a system that I tell everyone, it is assigned to me. So anytime anyone goes on to Red X to use it, they'll log on. And if they get a lead, in their notes, they need to put their name in there. Because the lead will come to me and then I forward the lead to their email.
Disposition it. Disposition.
Yeah, they disposition it, right. But it's an easy program to use and quite successful if you work it. Brian works it every day. He's on it every day, at least 2 hours a day for 5 days a week.
And I see, Raina, you said you use Red X a lot or Vulcan 7 a lot.
Yeah, I use Vulcan 7 at least 3 times a week. So at least an hour or 2 a day, 3 times a week. And I do expireds on there. So it's really great. It's an auto dialer if anybody doesn't know about it. And it populates whatever's new to the expired listings. You can choose the town that you like. You can choose the price range that you like. So usually what I'll do is I'll go in and I'll filter out which houses, like which towns I want to pick from, whoever's new, and then I add them to my folder. If I like, sometimes I'll take one of the days and I'll follow up with expired listings that maybe I've called already a few weeks ago or a month or 2 ago because maybe they weren't ready to talk to somebody yet. I've gotten several listing appointments. I have one listing from that, and then I got a referral from somebody else that I went on a listing appointment to their neighbor from that for a really nice listing in not my area but in Rumson. So it would just happen to be that, you know, they really liked that I talked to them, that I called them, that I was aggressive and that I was out there cold calling, and they told their neighbor about me. So you never know where your next listing is going to come from, but I'm waiting on this house in Montville that was up for 1.3. It was expired. I took the listing appointment. There were several other agents interviewing at the time, and I got the listing. So we have it as an exclusive right now, and I'm working with the builder to renovate the kitchen and the indoor spa. So should be coming up on the market in a few weeks.
Cool. And how long, you said you did 3 days a week?
Yeah, I do 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at least an hour.
Is there a better time to do it?
I do it you could do it. I usually do it in the morning. I like Fridays because I think a lot of things expire on Thursdays or Fridays for some reason. And then I mean, as much as you can, I think is the best thing to do because things are expiring every day. A lot of things expire at the end of the month or the beginning of the month. It's just catching people. So first thing in the morning is the best. If you could do it like 9 or 10, I had the 10 to 12 slot and then I got bumped out of that. So now I'm at 11 to 12.
Okay.
So I'll be doing that after this call.
Very well.
As long as you do it, it's good. Just do it. Every
Yeah.
system is good. I've heard some agents really like Vulcan 7 and some other means of prospecting. So it's just a matter of what you got. But the company, Rob, pays for Red X, which is really good for us to use, and thank you for that because it really makes it a lot easier for agents to prospect.
Can you talk more about Red X because I don't know about it?
It's the Coke to Pepsi scenario. It's basically the same thing as Vulcan 7 with a different data set.
Okay.
So if you're okay with Vulcan, now does Red X still allow you to drop a voicemail, Ron? You're on mute there.
Yeah, the auto dialer. Yeah, we can we leave messages.
Because Vulcan removed that, right, Raina?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. So I just leave a message whenever I call. I'll also I use my phone as a dialer instead of the browser. And then if there's somebody that I really want to talk to, I'll also send a text message from my phone and just say, hey, calling about your house, give me a call back.
Fantastic. So Land Voice is another competitor, but we don't have for the company Land Voice or Mojo. We do provide complimentary with scheduling Vulcan 7 and Red X. We have Cole Realty provided by the company. In terms of like what would I say? Data or skip tracing products, Intellius, Locate Plus, Spokio. Does anybody use anything else for skip tracing and have a preference? Okay. BombBomb, MailChimp, Constant Contact are the like email platforms that come to mind. In Florida, we have a company account with Constant Contact. You know, MailChimp's a big player, and BombBomb. Fred, are you on? Fred Lopez, he might have dropped off, but I think we have a discounted legacy account at BombBomb if you would like to get on the BombBomb. Last time I looked, it was I think 89 or 99 a month, and I think we're 29 a month through the legacy account and users to it. So that's not a profit center. That's something that I've held on for a long time just so that I can add people at a discount. Ironically, BombBomb was down today for us, so I did the email out of BombBomb. Zillow, Realtor. I was talking to an agent yesterday, a team leader. They canceled their Zillow and reallocated that money to digital and print marketing. Are there any of us that are increasing our Zillow spends, decreasing it? What are your thoughts on that? Nobody?
Well, I've been hearing from the agents that the return on Zillow has been very poor.
Very expensive. I think if you want a zip code and being like the third position, it's $600 or $700 a month. But they say they guarantee you 7 or 8 leads. We tried it. I think last year, right? We tried it.
Yeah, but we weren't at the top, we were at the bottom.
Yeah, we were like, we paid, I think, $400 a month,
Yeah.
and we only got maybe 1 or 2 leads, but
A lot of rental.
yeah, a lot of rentals, so nothing spectacular. It's a challenging market right now, so you have to do all the basic stuff.
Gotcha. I have somebody coming on in a second.
Hey, Ron,
Yes,
Eric here.
Mr. Pruitt, how are you?
Great. We should all be thanking God for this market. We are RE/MAX. We are experienced. We are the best. They need us. They no more going to their sister's granddaughter who just got their real estate license and listing their houses. I've had the best first 6 months in a long time. I just love this market. And that's what we need. It's a simple business, but it's not an easy business.
And Eric, you came off a bit of a slump, right?
Yes. And
So,
what helped me the best is that someone sent out an email about this coach, John Dietz.
Uh-huh.
And it came through, whoever did it, I want to thank him immensely. But he was a Keller Williams agent. I mean, he was a Keller Williams team leader and trainer. And he was doing a free YouTube call every morning from 8 to 8:30, and all about mindset and motivation. And I signed up coach. I'm actually coaching with him. Now he's gone to EXP, and I said, John, I'll coach with you under one condition. He goes, what's that? He says, I want no crap about EXP recruiting. I just want you for your coaching and your mindset. And he is phenomenal. And he only charges $500 a month. And he's
Wonderful.
my business around. It's going through the roof.
So Eric, a lot of people would say, you know, you're by almost any standard wildly successful. Why do you need a coach?
But what Ron's talking about, that he's stinking thinking. I mean, we live left our own devices, you know, we start having those negative thoughts come creeping back in.
Demons come into your head, right?
Yes.
So I just want everybody to, like, sometimes conventional wisdom is if you're doing really well, why do you need a coach? But I think, Eric, your living proof is that, you know, that coach helps you stay on the right track and maybe even pushes you a little bit further. Are you often on those morning calls? You make 3 a week, 1 a week? What's your cadence now?
I actually have 2 coaches right now that I coach with. One is Andrew Lacey. He has a 7:30 call every morning. Okay. He's great for beginners, and that's why this between you guys, I probably will not be renewing with him, just going straight to John Deeds. But it becomes a point, you know, it just, you got to get on the phone, and that's like even this call right now, I should be prospecting.
What are 3 things that that you'd say that John Dietz has instilled in you to help move your business, Eric?
He gave me a couple good books to read, were phenomenal. I can't remember them, but just basically every day is a key. Don't be attached to the outcome. And, you know, if you're in order to prospect, you've got to do it every day, because it's a progressive thing, and you got to follow up. I mean, it's like 1 or 2% of the time when you make that first phone call, you're going to reach, you know, get an appointment. It's always coming, you know, 4, 5, 6 contacts later.
Keyword, follow up.
Yeah. If you're not going to follow up, get out of the business, because it's now become a real follow-up business.
I think one of the books is Rainmaker by John Dietz.
Yeah, John, he wrote that book. He's got the best scripts. He's got the best scripts. His scripts are phenomenal. And you can get it on Amazon for $19. It should be $10,000 for all the, you know, for the scripts he has.
It's called Rainmaker, huh?
Yeah, by John Dietz. Diet with a Z, Dietz.
Okay, it's good to know. And Eric, do you use a dialer for your expireds?
Yeah, I was going to chime in earlier. I use Mojo.
Yeah, Mojo is probably one of the more popular ones. And you buy expired or FSBO data from Mojo directly, or do you upload it?
I invest a little bit of money into my expireds and FSBOs. I use Vulcan 7 for the data. I have it automatically imported into Mojo.
Fantastic.
I found Vulcan 7 has the most accurate phone numbers. Now, if you're just going to go ahead.
So Eric, is your best day still that 6 closings in 1 day?
Yeah, that's still the best. Trying to beat that one.
That was pretty. You obviously you couldn't even attend all of them, correct?
Yeah, no.
Well, congratulations on that, and it's exciting.
They were all different people. They weren't. It wasn't a builder. It wasn't the same person. It was all individual, different people. 6 in 1 day.
Well, it's exciting.
But I use it when I'm calling prospects and everything. When I'm making appointments, you know, I'll get a you know, for sale by owner and expire or whatever, and I go, you know, Mr. Seller, do you realize how many homes the average agent sells per year? And they say, well, what, 50, 75? I go, no, actually in the state of Florida, the actual number of sales the average agent makes in the state of Florida is 4. I close 6 in 1 day, so I'm way above that, a little bit above average. I'd love to come by and take a look at your property. And it's one of the things that John Dietz installed in me and Andrew Lacey, and that is to just get your foot in the door. I was too used to the old market where you try to pre-qualify. Mike Ferry says pre-qualify everybody. I don't think we have enough opportunity today to pre-qualify everybody. We just need to get our foot in the door.
Hey, Eric,
And-
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ron.
Eric, you have a farm area too, don't you?
Yes, but that has not been that productive lately.
How many homes do you mail to?
At 2,300.
How many?
2,300.
Okay. Good,
And
good.
I've cut back on that for a main reason. It's expensive and getting 0 to 1 response.
Yeah, yeah, in this market, it's not as productive as it used to be, but as long as you do, I think, what do you do it once a month?
I used to do it once a month. Now it's about every quarter.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I did it because it's not cheap. And my farm area was different. It was to all waterfront homeowners in Palm Beach Gardens and North Palm Beach with navigable boating water. And, you know, 2 or 3 years ago, I'd do a mail out of 2,300 and I would get 5, 6, 7 responses and get 2 or 3 listings that made it well worth it. The last year, before I cut back to once a quarter, it was I'd do a mail out and sometimes nothing.
Eric, do you invest in Zillow or Realtor.com?
I got Zillow for like $30 a month just so I show up.
And no Realtor.com, right?
No Realtor.com, no.
Do you have any VAs?
No, I tried that. I got one negative review on my Zillow, and it was when I tried a virtual assistant do prospecting with me. And I listened to it. It was so bad I fired her, and then mysteriously a 1-star review showed up on my Zillow. And I Googled where the IP address came from, and it was from the Philippines. And just the grammar and everything, I got a feeling, strongly feel it was that VA who put it in there. And I can't get it removed.
I just get a lot more to counterbalance it.
You know, these people can tell because there are agents who are hiring VAs to do prospecting for them. I don't know how the hell they get an appointment because I can tell when a VA, you know, when a virtual assistant from the Philippines is calling me on anything. But I guess it's not just a numbers game.
Yeah, I think it's it's not as passive of an event if you want it to be successful on the virtual marketing. Have you ever used virtuals for administrative resources, Eric, or anyone else?
I tried it. It was more difficult to keep them occupied and keep them busy than I'm very unorganized, so it was challenging for me.
I don't know. The virtual assistants we had one that we were using we tried them out for about 3 or 4 months, and we had really no success with it. That's why I just said to Ryan, just call yourself, save the money.
Well, and I think, you know, more so than even saving the money, though, it improves your skill set, and is doing a lot of expired FSBO calling with virtual teams. You know, what the breakdown would be is we'd get a seemingly good prospect. We would hand it off to an agent. The agent would call once and they'd say, oh, we're not interested. The agent wouldn't be invested in the outcome. They just say this is a bad lead. And, you know, if you called Ron and then when you call back, they say they're not interested, you had that conversation before, you might press or you might just schedule a follow-up call to convert that appointment.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of times people hedge, you know.
and I know that team leaders like Carlos Turner use, he has 3 or 4 VAs. They do amounts of calling, and it does have an output. There's probably with 3 full-time callers, I think he gets 8 listings a month and a team of 15. So I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like $4,000 or $5,000 for 8 listings. Might not be bad math, but it is a lot of work. an abundance of competitors in CRMs. You know, we have, Max Tech, KV Core. We used to have Boomtown, Sync. One of our teams has Chime. So there's a lot of different CRMs. I think the most effective one is the one that you just make the effort to use regularly. And across the industry, I mean, I would say there's probably, of the active agents, which is going to eliminate 2/3 of them, I'd say maybe 10% of them use a CRM, half an hour to an hour. Would your gut tell you about, the active agent base? What percentage of them are actually using their CRM daily? Ron Piccolo, what would you say?
Well, I like CRMs. I'm not a fan of the CRM. I'll tell you why. I have a system, we use the Excel program, the one that you're on now. And we put all our leads in an Excel, we color code them. We put them in our schedule, who to call back, what days to call back, what notes we had. We do a lot of that stuff manually. CRMs are just a little bit too much robotic. We think that, I don't know, but to pay for a CRM is just, to me, I think you're better off just doing it on your own. You could do your own follow-up letters. I have a list of 10, 12 letters that I just designed, and they go out to certain people, because you just can't send a generic letter out to people that you talk to and had a conversation with, because you have to personalize it. And I think the CRMs are not personalized. So, but there are some good ones. KV Core is a good one. I think a couple of my agents use Top Producer. Someone was telling me about Show Assist, not Show Assist. What is it? Can't think of the name of it. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. The transaction desk. They were saying that they use the transaction desk as a CRM. I've never used it before, but a couple of my agents use it. But again, I think if you design a program, I gave a class on how I use my personalized CRM, and it's just me. I'm the CRM. I'm the one that's contacting all the clients, and we have a great system that works for us. Doesn't cost us a dime.
No, I was talking to hopefully a future team member for us here. Their business is up over 100%, and they attributed the majority of that to their personal coach ingraining conversations a day with people. And even if you're not into calling the looky-loos that are on your account that are very adept at brushing us off, I think we underutilize the relationships and going back to when you and I started the business, Ron, they would talk to you about going through your network and talking to those people, right? And
Yep.
not having sales mouth, but just having a human conversation.
Yes.
And out of 5 people that you talk to, maybe the odds are that 5 aren't looking to do something, but I can almost guarantee you one of those 5 knows somebody intimately who a piece of real estate.
Agreed.
And that's really where the gold is, right? Having those conversations with people. Other resources I put down, there's a product that I've seen a lot of people resell for ridiculous amounts. It's called Go High Level. It goes through a lot of different marketing sources. It's not really just a real estate platform. And it has a lot of flexibility in terms of like text marketing and whatnot. And sell it for a much higher price, but that's a product if you're curious. Onlinejobs.ph, jobstreet.ph for outsourcing. My Outdesk, apparently I've heard they're looking to get people tied into contracts instead of Fiverr, which is more task oriented. We have a team leader who is using Sisu for accountability of the team members. And, originally I would say like accountability is big brother looking out, big brother leaning into you, greedy big brother, I want you to do more to the team. But over my years of experience, I've learned that, caring is holding people accountable. And if you don't care enough to hold them accountable, you're not going to see the result. And, if I would invite you to join my team or the company that we're in here, we do these meetings because I care. And if I care, the honesty to tell you what it takes to be successful. Okay. To be successful is not, spending 2 hours of calling and expecting a result, because there's a learning curve. And then there's also the probability, which means that it's going to take consistency in doing that. And, some of the things that, Eric talked about, I think is more mindset than skill set. Okay. And, having a mentor or a coach is incredibly tied into where you are and what you become, where you go. I was talking to somebody about when I started out in the business, in the mortgage business, most of what I learned was from the people around me and listening to what they said, listening to how they behaved, and taking the nuggets from the most successful people and, becoming a better machine, because I felt I had the best of 25 salespeople all built into one. A lot of things I didn't like about some of the people, but I took the things that were uniquely comfortable to me and, found my own voice and became successful. So Sisu is something, or even, Fred or I could have you create a simple, daily Google sheet that can go out automatically to your team members, fill it out with what they did for the day. You could go to a spreadsheet like this, and you can look at, how are people's activities trending, how are their results. Somebody's doing door knocking 3 times a week, calling 5 days a week, doing a mailing and calling their sphere of influence a half hour a day. If you track that over time, I think that Ron, myself, or you could help somebody say, hey, let's abandon this, let's double down on this, and let's stay consistent with what you're doing here. Right? Because if you don't measure it, you don't know what's working. And I don't know, Eric, are you able to talk for a moment?
Sure.
I think, when we sat down in your office and we went through where your business came from, I think it was an eye opener, right?
Yes, it was. And I just did the same thing for the first 6 months, and it was about 80% center of influence, past clients and past clients.
And you thought you had more from, some of your calling activities, right?
Correct.
So, it's not sexy to go through and look at your past client list, but I think it's really helpful to go through and look at where did it come from, right? And some of them might be a little bit of a combination of both, but if you don't measure it, you don't really know how to reallocate your efforts. So, that sphere of influence, majority of that business, Eric, kind of bodes well to that person who more than doubled their business by doing 5 calls a day to people they know.
Right.
And they weren't calls like, hey, Eric, are you selling your house? Do you know anyone selling your house? Like, that wasn't the call. There's in terms of research, there's a tool, Remind. Do you have that in Florida?
That's the Remind?
No, Remind. It's not, anybody, let me see.
We do have that. We do have that in Florida, actually. I use that for my kids' school. I didn't know we could use it for our business.
You have Remind, Remine?
Yeah, we have it here.
Okay. So that's good to get some information on property as well as NAR, RPR. I wanted to ask here, just what do we do for schools? And does anybody ever ask you about, I know most of our areas probably not so much, but like, what about like safety? Like, hey, what are the crime stats
I
or stuff
usually
like that?
I refer them to go on the census, or for schools, I refer them to go to niche.com.
Niche.com. And isn't there another one, Great Schools?
Yeah, that's another.
There's great schools also, Rob, and there's list reports, which will combine everything in the neighborhood along with the stats
It's
for all
called
the schools.
listreports.com.
And that's provided to us by our mortgage affiliate. And it
Okay.
does open house packets, it does closing packets for you, and it does all the graphs, and it's fed by the IDXs.
Yeah, I love that. One of my brokers actually gave me a login for that, or set me up with my own profile for that.
For list reports, is that Raina?
Yeah, they actually also send you like some newsletters with social media graphics that you could use that are really great about the market. I love list reports too. So definitely a good.
What else do people ask us that we need to be able to provide resources without going out of bounds? Because we're limited to like what we can say so that we don't steer people. But we have to let them do their own research. Let's see.
In Florida, we're constantly asked, Rob, on this side, how to do transfers as far as vehicle registrations and things to that nature. So I think a quick links on the things, if you are becoming a resident of Florida, the first 5 pillars of the things that you should do.
Okay, that's a great one. Because you have a lot of out-of-state people coming in. Do people ask you, hey, how's the neighborhood? Is it safe? We all have different areas, and how do you address that?
I always refer them to the town's websites.
Websites.
The town itself, their own website.
Gotcha. Put that down. In terms of resources now, like one of the frustrating points that I am seeing as I'm trying to get ahead of what's happening is I'm going to share with you, let's see, something I get emailed. Anybody use HomeBot? So I just asked Pavla to send me this report on a investment property I have. And this is an interesting graph that it gives me, okay, which is showing about the balance between buyers and sellers. And it also gives me a home estimate. So it's kind of bouncing up and down. And I think this is just because, you might have I don't think the value is going down like that. That's just some sales of homes that are influencing the artificial price, the AI intelligence of that. But this stuff looks pretty interesting. And I do think that inventory is starting to come up in many markets. And I do think if I was talking to a seller that, my own belief and maybe being a little bit more on the conservative side, not believing that things are going to go up forever, putting your home on now is probably, going to be better than 6 months from now, because certain parts of the market, the like the non-coastal Carolinas are starting to see inventory gluts. I know Ryan Cooper, is familiar with some properties down there. We have some referral agents that have looked at some homes there, and it's not the never-ending increases that we've seen over the past few years. And this is maybe a resource to help people decide what's right for them in making that move. Nobody on the call uses HomeBot?
I use it, Ron.
Does it help you or not certain?
Not certain. We just started using it.
Okay, and it's what, like $25 for 500 contacts?
25 bucks for 500 contacts.
I mean, it's not a crazy investment. We have Core Present, Core Listing Machine, all things through Max Tech that you have provided for you. Anybody a big user of NAR RPR?
I use that as well.
And what do you use that for, Eric?
It gives a value. You can do a quick 7, 8, 9, 10 page report that I'll take with me if I'm just, doing a Popeye or something.
On HomeBot, what kind of leads are you getting on HomeBot?
HomeBot, I'm putting in my sellers or my property owners to try to give them a monthly indication of their property value. I just wanted a way to keep in touch with past clients and center of influence.
So it's a past client or it's a follow-up system? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it'll automatically send a monthly HomeBot value on it.
It's a conversation starter, in my opinion, Ron.
Right.
Like if you're interested, the data has significance to you, because like here's what you get. You get like this little report here. See your home's value. A lot of people are curious. Hey, here's what my home's value is 507. It's up 27% since I purchased it. Principal and interest.
It's more information oriented for sellers or for clients that you have that are thinking about listing the house, or past clients, I guess would be good. That's good.
Yep.
I like it.
So it's not that expensive, and I think it keeps you in front of your audience.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, there's another one called, what the hell's that?
RPR is supposed to be pretty good too. The
problem with RPR, I wanted it automated. Problem with RPR is you can't automate it. You got to go in and do it every time.
Yeah.
So is Will Farmer, are you on? I completely forgot to introduce you.
No worries, I'm here.
So Will Farmer is a conventioneer that I've probably known my entire career. He's at a company that some of our associates use. Told him I'd give him a minute or two, and then if anybody's interested, we could have a private purview. This is not a sales pitch, but I know Box Brownie is good for tell us. For me, it's redoing photos, but tell me a little bit more about what the company does.
Yeah, boxbrownie.com is a world's largest picture editing company. So like, for example, I came from realtor.com the last 15 years. That's where I ran into Rob, and we had the most photos. Now I'm with a company that has the most edited photos. I just started with them a couple of weeks. I've known them since 2017 when they hit the market in the US. They're from Australia. They do virtual staging, image enhancements, portrait retouching, daytime to dusk, item removal, virtual renovations, floor plan redraws, 360 virtual tours, 360 virtual staging. They have a new app that was just launched this year where you can take your photos from your iPhone through the app. We have AI property copywriting for descriptions. So if you look at boxbrownie.com, it's one of the founders designed the website for ESPN as well. It's a site that will show you everything from our products to prices. There's no subscription, it's pay as you go. The reason they're the world's largest photo editing company is it's the volume that they use. Their prices actually have gone down since they started in 2017. They have 365 24/7 chat services. They have 250 plus employees in about 14 countries, 2,000 photo editors. So I'm sure some of you have heard of boxbrownie.com. They used to go to events more than I did with realtor.com every week in the US until COVID came. And now the Australians are allowed to come back to our country. I just started with them this year, been traveling with them. We're going to have, you'll see us at all the RE/MAX shows.
So, Will, can you put your info in the chat box? And then, what is the like average, like if somebody had, let's say they had 10 photos or 20 photos that they wanted to have edited, what's the ballpark?
Great question. It depends on the type of product, but for example, image enhancements is $1.60 a photo, less than 1 day turnaround. We say 24 hours or less. It's usually about 6 hours. Portrait retouchings, $4 a photo. Daytime to dusk, $4 a photo.
So I mean, just that alone, you can get, professionally retouched and edited photos. If you have 25 photos, it sounds like it's going to be less than $75 because one's $1.60, one's $4. I mean, you can then wow your clients for a very affordable price. I'm going to put your contact info in there, Will, and maybe on our we do these Monday peer-to-peers. Maybe we'll feature you on one of those now that we're kind of giving the agents a break, and anyone that's interested can hop on, and then more importantly, we'll have it on our YouTube channel for future reference for anybody.
If I can ask one quick favor, Rob, I'll put up my information in the chat for you all as well. But if you can play a 1:32-second video, I text and email you for everyone. I'd appreciate it.
Okay. I'll do that.
So yeah, I'll put in the chat my email, a link to boxbrownie.com. You can reach out to me anytime for questions. I'll have the founder of our company on the next call if we can get it.
I don't see the
check your text and your email I sent you yesterday. It's a link on either one of them.
All right, why don't you put that in while I'm looking for it here?
Okay.
While we're waiting, Rob, could I just ask someone who is using HomeBot what you think of their pricing in terms of what's the value of your house? Because if that's going out automatically to a client, if it's anything like a Zestimate or Realtor.com does something like that, or NAR RPR does something like that, and they could be like $400,000 differences from one to the other. How do you find the accuracy of HomeBot?
Well, that's one of the downsides to it is that it can be a little bit off, but you can also send it out and talk to your client, and there is actually a spot that you can modify the price.
Okay, thank you.
Fantastic. I'm going to play this for you.
An app that will revolutionize the way
you all see it?
real estate photos.
Yes.
Say goodbye to uninspiring shots and hello to jaw-dropping images that will amaze your potential buyers. With just a tap of your finger, Snap, Snap, Snap can add a breathtaking sky and lush green grass to your photos. And if you want to give your property a virtual makeover, our virtual staging feature is just a touch of a button away. Worried about unwanted objects in your shots? Our item removal feature can remove them in a snap with just one button press. Or if you're dreaming of a beautiful dusk image to showcase your property's best features, our expert editors can make it a reality with just a tap. Using Snap, Snap, Snap is incredibly easy. Simply download the app, take your photos, and let our expert editors handle the rest. Within 24 hours or 48 hours for virtual staging, you'll receive professionally edited photos ready to be used for marketing. And here's the best part. Snap, Snap, Snap requires no technical knowledge or photography expertise to use. Simply point, shoot, and let the app work its awe-inspiring magic. In a matter of seconds, you'll be capturing professional-grade shots like a seasoned pro. So, what are you waiting for? Download the app for free and start capturing stunning real estate photos right from your phone.
Right. So that
Pretty
was
nice.
that was pretty interesting. And I do know some of our top teams that are using the service. So, Will, thanks for coming on. Welcome to your new company. I'm just gonna go here speedily through any of the other ones that I had here.
Hey, Ron, real quick.
Yes.
Those two books that John Dietz told me to read that changed, turned me around 180 degrees, was by Andy Andrews, The Noticer and The Traveler's Gift.
Andy Andrews, what were the two books called?
The Noticer and The Traveler's Gift.
The No SIR?
Noticer, Noticer.
And the other one was The Traveling Gift?
The Traveler's Gift. Phenomenal, best books I've ever read for mindset.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I'll put those into this notes here, and it'll be posted with the video. Other things: Google My Business, digital marketing. I don't know if does anybody use Yelp successfully for real estate?
Oh, I got a great Yelp review on me. 1 star. The guy says I'm creating bidding wars and file a FREC complaint with me because I got sold a house at $999 for $1.4 million. Is there anyone knows how I can respond to that?
You take care of your selling clients.
Hey,
There was a team, okay, of somebody who retired, and they got most of their business, their listing business, over half of it from using Ideal Agent, HomeLight, UpNest, and Dave Ramsey. And I'm talking about 3 to 4 listings a month from those services. Now they're obnoxiously expensive, 30 to 41.5%, 42%. But what this agent had shared with me was the amount of business that they got from that business was really beneficial. When you get a listing in the neighbor list with you, no referral fee on that one. So I've talked about these in the past. We do write out a lot of referral checks to these companies. So, that's something that is worth considering. Talked about HomeBot. One of our team leaders got a got a listing appointment from a estate, what do you call it? The probate list. And then the first app is just something to throw out there in ChatGPT. I don't know if it uses ChatGPT for their business, creating descriptions. We're kind of at the end here. I just wanted to see if anybody has any success or thoughts on those.
I use ChatGPT all the time. It's my best friend.
And what do you use it for?
I use it a lot for just kind of when my brain's not functioning and I just give it a prompt, and I use it for marketing. I use it for the blog portions. I use it for my social media. It's really cool because what you can teach it, you're teaching it, and you tell it you want, like, give me a caption for a home that's on the water, and then it'll write it for you, but then you kind of guide it in how you want it to direct. So that way you can kind of teach it a voice. So it's more like, instead of being a bot, it's more you, but obviously you want to go and review everything that it gives you.
What's it called, Carly?
It's called Chat GPT.
So kind of,
GPT?
kind of all the,
Yeah.
kind of all the rage.
Oh,
There's a lot of raves on it, and quite frankly, I use it a lot for my social, especially if I can't come up with a something. Like catching, you can ask it like what's trending hashtags. You can ask it a whole bunch of things, but I haven't used it. I know there's a lot of ways that you can use it. I know you can use it to help you create spreadsheets and things like that. I haven't done that because I'm pretty handy with spreadsheets.
cool.
If I can make one more remark, Rob, about that, back to boxbrownie.com, when you guys go to the website, we do free copywriting using AI and Chat GPT. So a lot of our customers will go in and put the item property description. It takes 30 seconds to return. You can edit it however you like.
I have a question on Box Brownie.
Okay.
Would you need a professional photographer if you could just take them with your iPhones and have it Box Brownie do their thing to it?
Well, good question. Because of our new app, if you download the Snap, you can sign up with us there. If you're not already a member, it goes into your control panel. And we all know the technology on iPhones and Androids these days with their photos. If you take the pictures through the app, it creates all the bracketing and all the high-end technology that a regular photographer uses in their high-end cameras. They say in about 2 to 3, 4 years, those cameras you get from Canon and Sony will be obsolete. So yes, you still could use a photographer. A lot of photographers use our service as well. But just think about going into a home, taking pictures with your phone, make sure it's on a tripod so it doesn't move. It captures all the bracketing. You can get it back super fast, a lot less expensive, on the fly. So that's where the future's headed with these apps. That's a game changer we just launched. Android is coming soon. Takes a little bit longer. We just launched the iPhone app recently. Hope that answers your question.
So Ron, I think the potential for this is like when I go on a listing appointment and we can't get a photographer out there for 3 or 4 days and it takes them a day to get it to us. So I'm assuming with this program, I can take a picture of the front of the house and it can look like it was a professional photo to put a shot of the house for coming soon at an MLS.
Bingo. That's what a lot of our clients use it for. You can make it, daytime to dusk. You can make that initial photo really stand out. So you're getting a lot more click-throughs. And it's just like a photographer in your pocket. That's what we call it.
Oh, that's like that. That's good.
Can you create a video from those photographs?
Coming soon. Right now we're photo editing kings of the world, but soon we'll be doing it via video as well.
Fantastic. Well, we're way over on our time. I already put the books in the link that was in the email that went out. I will also put Will's contact info in there, and look for Will, maybe one Monday when we normally do our peer-to-peer meetings, we put those on pause for the summer. We'll have you as a guest to share how we can utilize your service to put up better listings more cost effectively and quicker.
Yeah, I love that. We'll have our founder from Australia on that call as well. And I appreciate your time today, Rob, and everyone on the team. And look forward to helping you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a fantastic weekend and try to stay cool. Bye-bye.